Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, everyone, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. I hope you're all having a decent evening. Smash a like, please, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. 65 people in the building already, wanting to know what this fat lad is going to waffle on about tonight. I thought we'd have a bit of a back and forth. I actually thought I'd be doing a stream tonight to say we have signed a player. More specifically, we have signed Shea Charles. So I had my heart sat on doing a live tonight anyway. I love speaking back and forth with you guys. Why not jump on and just chat about the situation in general? You know, me and others are very confident. A lot of the content creators, you know me, I don't really like using that term, but people that talk about Leeds online have put the neck on the line, I suppose, if there's even a line to be put on, really. These things either happen or they don't. And yeah, a little bit of, it's just, I find it quite amusing and fun. And you know me, I don't take myself too seriously. I just enjoy talking about Leeds on here. I'll speak about what I get told, what I read, and we have a chat about it, just like what if we're down the pub, because I'm that kind of guy. But yeah, quite interesting. One tweet comes out that for me says absolutely nothing, and yeah, the whole meltdown starts. But this is why I normally stay away from X, by the way. Goddamn transfer windows made me have to tap into other social media platforms I don't actually use because I just love going to games and being a bit of a wally with my mates. But yeah, it's one of them anyway. I've had to sort of dissect, divulge, and have a little look about to speak about the rumours, which I'm actually really enjoying doing, by the way. Thanks for all the support. But yeah, but really interesting. One tweet, yeah, and all hell breaks loose. But hope everyone's doing well anyway. I thought we'd pass an hour before bedtime tonight. So yeah, let's get in and see who's in the building. Tezza, how you doing, my mate? Always here. Much appreciated. Hey up, Matty. Wouldn't be Leeds without issues. Yeah, you and me, we got issues. It is what it is, mate. Oh, no, Matty. No, it doesn't, mate. It doesn't mean. I said on, I commented to you and Steve, I think, if we don't sign Shea Charles, I'll eat a bloody salad. That's how much I'm hanging my hat on it. Me eat a salad. But no, we're not quite at that point yet, mate. The YEP also claimed no news updates in an article this morning. It's LUFC, Bobby. It's all regurgitated, isn't it? It's all regurgitated, pal. MOT says, how you doing, my mate? Is it? No, Matty, lad. Can we have the Bosnian Whites too, please? Can we have Tariq Muharramovic? Honestly, I love him already as a profile of a player, Danny Boy. But just his name alone, I'm going to have to abbreviate it or something if we do sign him because, yeah, can we not just sign people called Mick? That's a surname as well, Mick. Matty the man, what's up? How you doing, Patrick? Rich Bedford, hi all, how you doing, pal? I mean, got nothing to worry about, really. It's Ben Jacobs. He gets most info from the back of the cornflakes box. Well, some people are saying that about us, mate. Some people are saying that about us. Hope we're good anyway. Hey up, Matty. We still need to clear it. Yeah, and we're going to get into that. I want to get your thoughts in the comment section as well, Nipper, and we'll speak about, you know, there's not loads of talk about goings. There's still a long way to go yet. You know, we're not even into first day back at pre-season today for the boys. Very odd seeing the new training sort of gear out being worn by Pirro, who I think will move on. There's quite a few I think will move on who we're going to see kicking around for the next few weeks. But yeah, pre-season, everyone gets back, don't they, bar the people on international duty. So this is a non-news thing. I'm putting the you do that, mate. You do. This is just a general waffle, mate. You know me. Not going to happen, mate. Not going to happen. And that was me thinking you were going to say we have just... You know me, I could poke fun at myself, so it's all right. Evening, how you doing, Alan? Evening, Paul. Mr. Top Banana, how you doing, mate? Big up, Matty, up, Pat. Tickle those likes. Yes, please do. Rysel, I hope I'm going to see you doing content soon, Rysel. It's been a while, mate. Top man. Top man. Nice for you to drop by. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm not going to be able to get through all comments, I don't think, already tonight. 187 people already in the building. But yeah, so let's bring the article up. So, as you know, Shea Charles saga has been going on for what we're talking now, 2.5 years. It's been going on forever. The last 3 or 4 weeks, it's sort of been rejected after rejected. What, 3 bids got in, 2 rejected, one of them sort of not officially rejected, but certainly not accepted. It's just been ongoing negotiations between the 2 clubs. Over the weekend, a few decent-ish reports coming out, obviously saying that Leeds United is the club he really wants, and it's progressing, and the clubs are trying to find a compromise. That word keeps being used, compromise. Leeds aren't willing or haven't been willing to press to go slap £30 million down for Shea Charles. Is he worth it? In my opinion only, yes, he is. But I understand Leeds sort of going ahead with caution there and not putting the whole amount down in, whether it's one lump sum or spread out structurally for 30 million. I think if Leeds can get him for 5 million less, then it works out for us. But I understand the value of 30 million because I think in this market that sort of play is potentially worth it. I really do. And obviously then today, this evening, Ben Jacobs tweeted out, no new developments yet regarding Shea Charles, but the volume of interest means Southampton are now anticipating a sale this summer. I mean, for me, that last line is crazy to me because I think it's been quite evident, even from the Southampton end, that they are anticipating a sale way before it was said tonight. Certainly is going to get sold. If you look at any of the sort of content on the Southampton side, everyone's renouncing him leaving the club. He's a Premier League player in the waiting. He will no longer be a Southampton player. That's a given. As you can see there, 4 days ago, there was a Ben Jacobs exclusive that said Fulham and Crystal Palace have entered the race for Shea Charles. Leeds have already had 2 bids rejected, which fell below Saints' valuation. A nice little laughing angel emoji thing, which I don't know if that was just to put fun at us a little bit for getting it rejected again. I don't know. But Fulham and Crystal Palace have entered the race. He's today again at the end of that saying that they're anticipating a sale this summer. He's wanting to, I think, drum up a little bit more interest in the player to sort of validate his first exclusive. That for me was a nothing story at the time. We knew Palace were interested. Fulham was a new name, yes. Let me just take my WhatsApp off because it's beep. It's doing me in. Fulham was a new name at that point, but prior to that, Manchester United were linked. So we'd gone from Manchester United and Crystal Palace to Fulham and Crystal Palace. So again, wasn't a big story. Made a lot of Leeds fans sort of worry, thinking, we need to move, other clubs are coming in. But for me personally, if no one's interested in a player we're linked with and going to put £30 million down, I'd be worried anyway in whether they're good enough. So the fact that we've got people, established sides, looking at a player we're interested in, it makes sense. No formal bids have gone down by Leeds United. But that today, for me, no new developments. This is going to sound wild to some people, right? Because he's got 800,000 followers on X, and I'm literally I'll wake up in the morning, going to a building site to first fix 14 flats, right? Literally, I understand where people will get that sort of that stands from, but how does he know there's no new developments? What situation has there been, right? So let's put it this way: if he would have got to Leeds United, let's say, Benji, I can see you've just dropped in there, Lee's lens. I've got no exclusive, mate. All right, let's just say Ben Jacobs contacts the club, which I think he's out of the World Cup at the minute, but say contacts the club and goes, Leeds United, I'm just sat on my laptop and I really need to put a story out that's going to get clicks and stuff. It's my job. I need to put a story out, right? What's the latest on Shea Charles? And Leeds United have gone what? Oh yeah, by the way, we've almost signed him. It's close. He's having a medical. I'm just sat having a croissant with him. I don't know why croissant come to mind. There you go. Not eating a salad. Don't even met me. But generally, what is the club going to say? No new developments. What about from the Southampton side of things? Southampton, are Leeds any further down the line? Southampton, he could literally be in Leeds doing a medical, doing anything, but not quite signed. Southampton aren't going to say that, because Southampton want other clubs to still think there's a possibility that they can get him. So I don't understand why this tweet in particular has caused such an outrage that anybody who's remotely said Leeds United are going to end up with Shea Charles has been deemed clickbait, which, I mean, I haven't personally. I don't think I'm nowhere near big enough to sort of hit that side of X yet, which is quite nice. Hopefully I never do, because there's some tripe on there. But, the whole clickbait thing, why can't somebody know something that the rest don't and just share it with people anonymously, because end of the day, people know people. someone in the club has a brother, has a sister, has a best mate, a brother-in-law. People know people. There are in the knows. We know on Wacko on that famous forum. People know people. There are in the knows out there. Sometimes you'll get someone like myself or somebody else, I'm going to name names, somebody else will come on and go, I tell you what, I've heard this and I'm going to share it. And I think it's done. Explanation mark, question mark, flame, whatever on the title. It is what it is. I know this. I'm going to let you know this. Could Shea Charles not join Leeds United? That could be a possibility. That could 100% be a possibility. Maybe he doesn't play for Leeds. Potentially never kicks a ball for Leeds United. Does that mean it was never on the cards? Does that mean it was never that far down that somebody may have reached out and gone, it's done is this, it's getting done is this? We've just seen, I can't remember the lad's name, we've just seen what's happened between Newcastle and Aston Villa. The Swiss lad, superb World Cup. Begins with M, I think. Superb World Cup. For all intents and purposes, looked nailed on to me going to Newcastle, gone to Villa. These things happen, don't they? But I just think it's funny how that tweet there that says absolutely nothing. It doesn't say anything. Like I say, maybe you don't come to Leeds. I'm pretty much adamant that he's going to be a Leeds United player the next couple of days. We'll see how it goes. But if he isn't, I'll eat that salad, right? And I'll quite easily take the jibes that come with it because it is what it is. We live in a world where if you put your head above the parapet, you'll get shot at. And it's one of them. Some people, sort of hide in the mum's basement and don't say I'll do anything. And that's fine, no rent if you be living in your mum's basement, that's for sure. But it's one of them where I just found it quite funny today. And I haven't really had much, but I do think it's funny how you can be right now and maybe still potentially be wrong further down the line. But that tweet today that's also been regurgitated by Saints Extra on X, Mr. Danny Rumsey, top man, good mate of mine, tagged me in that. Again, all it is regurgitating Ben Jacobs' tweet. And again, Ben Jacobs is more reliable than me. I am sure of that. But that tweet, for me, doesn't state anything other than he's asked a question. He's been told exactly what he's going to be told by anyone trying to sort of deal out. Why on earth would Leeds United want any journalist to know where that deal is, if it's in fact anywhere? That's me a little waffle off my chest anyway. So let's get through the comment section. I'm probably going to get hammered in these comments, but that's where I am on it. You know me, I'm honest. I wear me out of my sleeve. I'm probably going to be wrong. It is what it is. And I'll come on here and just keep doing what I do. But yeah, I think it's, just seen a verbal agreement has been reached to sign. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Chris. We'd seen the verbal agreement, I think, had been, is that for Shea Charles or is that for Muhamovic? Because we've seen a little bit on both, haven't we, over the last coming days saying they're both close. I think potentially both will get done this week, but we'll see. I'm going to say by 6 p.m. we're going to be a player in. I hope so. It feels like a big week. It feels like a really big week, this. It really feels like, is that what it is? Has been reached. Well, that did come out yesterday, didn't it? The verbal agreement. I'll have to see. Hi, Matty. Sunderland and LAFC matching together. Love bridging the gap. Hey up, Tommy, mate. Yeah, I'll be catching up with Wayne again soon, my mate. Like and hype, pal. Cheers, Meggie. You have convinced me Charles is the next Zidane. He better sign now. Well, I think he signs, mate. Whether he's the next Zidane or not, we'll have to see. But again, like I say, no, it's done until it's done. And people tell me all the time, until he's holding a lead. I get that, but when he's holding a lead shirt, that's, look at the Harry Wilson saga, how long that went on for. He was a Leeds United player weeks ago. Yeah, you don't see it till he holds a shirt. Leeds United are the last to announce it. Obviously, at that point, it's the most concrete evidence you can have that they're going to be playing for your club next season. But, a lot happens before that. A lot of people know what's going on before that. So, yeah, if people choose to share it, what I would say is if nobody shared anything, or that means journalists or people that may know a bit of information, if no one shared anything, what would we be doing? People love the rumours, and you see people on Twitter constantly, 15, 20 posts a day. I'm looking at you, Kershaw. Well, not for this scenario, but you do 15, 20 posts a day. I love you, mate. But you look at people and they're tweeting all the time, constantly looking, and what drops second, they're on it. You get a little bit frustrated to moan that, if something's not accurate, but they're engulfed in it. They're good in it. They want to see it. They want to consume it. Yeah, not everything you read is right, obviously. But what I'll say is in this lead scene, anyone who sort of speaks about anything they may know, then that's a privilege for me. I look at that like if I weren't doing YouTube, if I went on here and I'd watched a couple of YouTube channels that I enjoy and someone tells me something, I'd be excited by that. I wouldn't be angry if it didn't come to fruition. I certainly wouldn't be angry that a journalist had come out and said there's no new developments when, like I say, how would he know? So, do you know what I mean? I just sort of look at it, and I did this. I remember doing this last summer, sort of coming out and defending a few people in team. But it's just one of them where I just feel strongly about it. So one thing you'll always get from me is just transparency, honesty, and I'll just come out and speak my mind. But maybe Shea Charles don't sign, but for me, I've been told it's done. If it ain't done, I'll come on here, lick my wounds, and go again. You know, I'll be on soon, Matty. Can't wait. Regenerated now, mate. Been watching though. Your growth is inspiring, mate. Oh, Sam, thanks, Rysel, mate. Thanks, Rysel, mate. You inspired me, mate, when you were doing it as well. The few months you really show progression yourself, mate, and your dedication were brilliant. It'd be nice to see you back doing it because you're bloody good at it. Everyone should pay their rent and smash the light for Matty. Cheers, Steve. Appreciate that, my mate. Thank you. The Leeds lens, my mate Scott. How are you doing, pal? All right, Matty. Still good back. Still good. Back to my feeling that I love Charles as a player, but not convinced we should be spending money on the city. Yeah, I mean, that's another story altogether, isn't it? Like you say, whether you know, we're far down the line with the potential of signing him, whether we get him and whether he's worth it, you know, we'll have to see. But I think you've always said we don't need that position. We don't need a 6 and 8. You're happy with what we've got. But again, I remember someone saying a comment on your channel, and I kind of stopped you in your tracks a little bit. And it was, we don't know who the club are going to sell. We don't know who the club are looking at offloading. We don't know if anyone in the club's had a conversation and come to the manager and said, you know, I want to move. For me, it's not out of the realms of possibility that a Longstaff and a Gruev would ask that question, would put that sort of situation forward. For me, it's fairly obvious. I would. I think it's more like a Longstaff. I said it on a lot of videos. I think Gruev's fairly happy being a squad playing in Premier League because I don't think he's a starter anyway wherever he went in Premier League. I think if he went to Hull, maybe he won't start, you know, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility to assume Gruev's probably happy. I'm sure there's been an article previously where he's happy with his role. Longstaff's another question. Tanaka had a decent-ish World Cup, a bit of a sore end, but decent when he played, to be fair, by that little cameo. Certainly better as a starter, into Tanaka. It takes a while to get into the game, slow, lethargic. Thinks he got more time than he has sometimes. But as a starter, I thought he looked really good at World Cup. Maybe he moves on. You just don't know the situation. So for me, this is what I would say, Scott. This is a proactive signing. You know, a proactive attempted signing, whatever we want to call it now. As obviously he's not officially signed yet, but it's a proactive move. And we always talk about the club. We always talk about Farker being reactive and not proactive, and this is a proactive transfer, and that's why I like it. That's why I like it. You can't knock the club for looking at a position that may look full to us, but could look vulnerable if one moves on. Could look vulnerable if we get an injury to an Ampadu. You know, we're all like saying Ampadu and Stack have got 2 of them positions locked on lockdown. Of course they have. Of course, every day and 15 times on a bloody Sunday. But what happens if one of them gets injured? Then what? You're relying on a Longstaff and a Gruev. Or, you know, you look at that situation, think you bring in someone like Shea Charles, and I think it'd be absolutely bang on to sit in that midfield at the Premier League level and do the job an Ampadu can do. He's athletic, he's strong, he's really underrated what he can do with the ball at feet of such a big lad. Yeah, his physicality isn't 100% there yet. He's still sort of filling out. Still got to become an experienced Premier League player, and what comes with that in the middle of the park, getting kicked about and stuff. Like, he's got a lot to prove at the highest level. But I genuinely think, Scott, we sign him and it's a great investment for a club. He comes in by the end of the season, one way or another. I think he'll be starting games for Leeds United. And I think 2-3 years from now, he could be a 60, 70, 80 million pound player. We've seen your Elliot Andersons. We've seen what Adam Wharton might be going for from Palace, or what Palace are demanding for him, because that is the market. And I know you stand firm on that too, pal. So that's where I sort of stand on it. There's a lot more important positions right now, but this is a key and important addition, because this, for me, after all the talk, it's felt a little bit like, and I'm waffling again, but it's felt a little bit like Southampton's had our pants down with this one. And I think PR-wise, it'd be quite an embarrassing deal if someone goes up to us to this. If we walk away, if we just decided to walk away, I think we could probably handle that because we've done it on our terms. If we get picked by Fulham or Palace for £2 million, this is a bad PR move for me. It's gone. Sometimes it goes too far where you've just got to see it through. And I think it's this one. And I know it's an opportunity market if it's 20 mil, 25. And I know you get to that point where you get to 30 and it's no longer an opportunity, but you've just pushed it. It's like an auction and you've just gone that little bit too much. But this is a player that I think will have that growth in ability. I think he'll have that growth in value. So in my opinion, and I think the club's opinion, the fact they've aggressively gone for him, not quite put the money there, but I think they've been fairly confident that no one else is as into the player as maybe we are, and they've gambled with that a little bit. And yeah, there's interest, and that's all it is. That's all it is right now. If we've offered 28 plus add-ons, that's nuts for a bench player. Move on. I'm thinking it's going to be about 25 plus add-ons that will come out, whether it's, say, I think it's been accepted and we're going down that line and we're going to hear some very soon. By Wednesday, this time Wednesday, I would imagine we have an accepted bid, but we'll have to see how it goes. Evening, Matty, just wish we have some players in the door. Charles, for example, yeah. I mean, great starts at window, Sean. Great starts at window, bringing in Harry Wilson. It's a fantastic addition. There's still a long way to go, but what I didn't realise till I had a look the other day was at this point last season we'd already got three through the door. I think it will Metcher, Goodmanson, and Longstaff. I might be wrong with one of them, but I'm sure Longstaff got Metcher, what first one. We have three in at this point though, so I understand people being a little bit, but there's still plenty of time. Plenty of time. Yeah, we are linked to Rooney Barger. I mean, I haven't covered it in the last couple of days, but I covered it earlier on, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Lewis, good player. I assume you know a lot about him. Really, really like the player, to be fair. I've heard he may be available on loan. I don't think it'll be a straight sale because I know Barcelona hold him in high regard. But he's heavily linked to Sunderland as well and a few others. I aren't too sure we'll go there now. I'm sure he's a right winger with a decent left foot, I think, Lewis. If that's the case, we've ticked that box with Harry Wilson. Evening, Leeds Rhinos. Leeds Rhinos, Leeds Rhinos. Scotty boy, new member. Get in there, lad. Thank you. You've just done that because I did it to you. But thank you for doing it anyway. Leeds Lens. Do me a favour, guys, as well. If you've got a notepad or whatever, you don't know, just make a little note. Leeds Lens. Leeds Lens. Don't leave now to subscribe, but subscribe afterwards. Really, really good channel. Does content every single day. The rumours and the credible ones, the non-credible ones. Speaks about it all, does my mate Scott. Top guy. Yes, Matty, we need to move on. Fringe players. Harrison needs to go. New England, apparently, is going. Ben Jacob knows nothing. Daily Mail are the ones to watch. I mean, again, Rysel, yeah, I mean, Daily Mail are the ones when it comes to Leeds United. If the Daily Mail had put out today, there's no movement. I'd believe that because you're right. The 49ers leak information to Daily Mail. They're the sort of publication of choice for us to get information out that we want to get out. Ben Jacob, I'm not going to say knows nothing. 800,000 followers says he probably knows more than me. But I just think sometimes a nothing tweet, because of who it's come from, can hold so much weight when it's just blank words for me. It's just blank words. But like I say, this stream, I'll probably get a little bit of shit. Maybe not now, but, you know, behind it, there'll be a bit later on probably. But, you know me, I speak my mind. It is what it is. Gonna have Dan James should be sold also. Aronson. Yeah, Mike, I don't want Dan James to get sold, you know. I want Dan James to stay as a bench option. I know he's on a lot of money. But he's just... And that might be my sentimental side coming in again, mate. But he's the one... Aronson... I'm okay on bench, but yeah, he can move on for me. Gruev, again, I think he'll stay, but he's the weakest of the 5 midfielders. But Dan James, I've just got this vision, Mike, that whether we play with width or we play a bit narrower, maybe 2 10s in behind, DC, whatever. I've just got this feeling of 60, 65 minutes just totally ripping up the book. And, you know, you take a Wilson off or you take somebody else off and you put Dan James on. And I understand his explosiveness. He's fading a little bit. He's got a lot of muscle injuries. It's hard. I was speaking to Bill, my American mate, over there, and he was saying when you start doing your hamstring and get these muscular injuries, when you're explosive and quick like him, it's tough to get past it. He missed a lot with hamstrings, I think, last season. Missed about 15, 16 weeks. I get it. But you're not asking him to play 90 minutes anymore. He's no longer a vital starting cog in that engine. He's no longer that vital player. But as a bench option, he offers something that nobody else has for me. Not only raw pace, but he is an out-and-out winger. We don't see many out-and-out. Knock the ball past someone and go past them and try and whip a ball. And yeah, he's not the most technically gifted. But I think for 15, 20, 25 minutes, Mike, I like the profile. I do. I like keeping him around. He has an average rating of 7.2 on FootMob. Who are you referring to there, Chris? Is that the Muhamovic? I've got to look at it again. I've literally wrote down Muhamovic in 3 separate words so I can sort of like, yeah. There you go. There's a one. Mazambi. I think Charles is 50-50. People do, mate. People do. Surely they wouldn't splash 9 mil on Lewis Dobbin without knowing. Well, that's it. I mean, I know Dobbin's a winger, so not a replacement in him. But in terms of putting money down, there's no way. And they're trying to obviously playing hardball, and I love it. And let me get this off my chest again as well, because I know I'm way behind in comments and I'm waffling, but it's what I do. But you look at it from a PR standpoint, right? And I'll get to your comments when you reply to this at some point tonight. But How do you think about this? Does this sound ridiculous? Because I have a bit of a weird brain, and yeah, I go all. I'm just an overthinker. But you look at it and go, PR wise, Southampton are on the floor, absolutely on the floor. The fans aren't happy. They've got to sell season tickets. The fans aren't happy. They've got to sell new shirts. The Spygate 2.0, disastrous, absolutely disastrous. Right? Players want out. Players were talking about suing the club not too long ago. All of a sudden, big Leeds United from Premier League come knocking on the door, and I want your best player. I'm going to say it, best player. Highest ceiling, maybe not best player now, but highest ceiling. Most Southampton fans will tell you he is the player above Skezia, above whoever else. He is their best player, technical player with the highest ceiling, highest value sell on is Shea Charles. From a PR standpoint, if Leeds don't get this done, whether you rate the player or not, it looks bad for me. It looks bad. Southampton's had us pants down, mugged us off, took us along for however long. You know, you get picked by Marseille, who were in Europe for Pajau, whatever, first season back in Prem. You get rolled over by Southampton for a player, then that feels a lot different. So I think from a PR standpoint, this is helping to bridge the gap with their fans for Southampton, being able to sort of show, yeah, we fucked up last season. But I tell you what, we're not going to roll over and take £20 million for our best player. If Leeds want him, they're going to pay 30. And I think from a Southampton standpoint, it makes sense. They need the money. They're bluffing. They need the money. They're wanting to create a bidding war, which still hasn't arrived, by the way. It could do. And I think it's done. But if Fulham come and go, there's 30 million, it probably goes to Fulham. It's one of them. Who knows? But for me, from a PR standpoint, this is really good for Southampton, building that relationship with the fans, building the trust up with the players as well within the squad. While we mean business, maybe we'll all stick around now as opposed to buggering off because we're not happy. Because even if Shea Charles moves on, we've shown resilience there. The board have shown a level of strength there. Not panicked and sold him, thinking no one else might come in for him. Back themselves to take it to the value they deem fit for the player. So I don't know what you think about that, but yeah, that went on my mind today as well. No, not yet, Tintin, not yet. I'm going to have to skim over some comments, guys. The tweet is essentially saying he isn't aware about any updates, doesn't mean there isn't any. Exactly. That's where I am, Scott. That's where I am, buddy. 100%. No new development. I mean, he doesn't say he's unaware of any developments. He says no new developments. So do you know what I mean? So the wording of it's a lot stronger than you've just posted there, Scott. But I think looking through it, I think that is what he's saying. He isn't aware of any updates. He wanted to put a tweet out about Shea Charles. It's going to get loads of clicks. It's done what? I think it's done 500,000 clicks or whatever. It's going to do what it needs to do. But within the fan base, it causes a little bit of a mini meltdown. And anyone that's dared to say that this is going to happen has had a bit of stick. But not me. Like I say, I'm down here. I haven't had much, but you know, just sort of saying it. But yeah, and again, Scott, it might not happen. I've been told it's happening, as you know. I've been told it for the last 3 weeks. I got told it. A bid went in. I thought, get in. It's right. Got rejected. Scott were like, come on, you're doing it to me, Matty. It's happening. Yeah, it's done. Bid went in. Get in. This one will get accepted. I'm right again. Rejected. What's going on? The information's right-ish to a point, or has been, but very frustrating. The knockbacks that Leeds didn't expect to happen. Leeds didn't expect the second bid, especially to be knocked back. The third bid hasn't officially been rejected, but yeah, I think we're too far down the road to walk away. I think we're certainly too far down the road for it not to come off. 156 likes, 318 watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Top Banana, thank you very much. Please smash a like and please subscribe if you're new here. Angela, how are you doing? Hey up, Matty. Does anyone know if the Wilco wall on the east stand has started? I was there a week ago and it hadn't started. Just the Bielsa one had been finished, but it could have changed in the last few days, Angela. I'm not sure. Gipton White, long way to go yet. No need to panic. Exactly. I tell you what, what's occurring, Sister? I'll tell you what is occurring. Can't wait for under 21's game on Saturday. Cannot wait. Be a little match day vlog coming for that, I think, as well. Shall I do a full match day vlog? Like we're going to watch first team. Leeds v Bridgetown. It's going to be a cracking day. BMG, how you doing, my mate? Basically, it's impossible to disprove something. If he was seen at Ellen Road, he was there. But if he wasn't seen, it doesn't. Yeah, of course, mate. That's your point, and it makes sense. Exactly, BMG. Yeah, exactly, mate. Thank you for that. I know, mate. I know, my mate. Chris, I love all the transfer rumours and the discussions. Totally agree with you, Matt. Yeah, that's it. I said it. I remember saying it last year. You know what I mean? If if nobody spoke about it, if everyone just thought sod it, I'm not going to speak about it, and no one did any YouTube videos or content on any, so everyone would be a bit gutted, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? Like, luckily we've had World Cup on, but we still want to speak about Leeds. Like, I've done Leeds videos every day, and I didn't think I would. I thought with World Cup being on and there won't be much to talk about. Yet there's so much rumours out there, and some people, like, you know the best channels on this platform. I don't like saying people's names to bring people in, but you know the best channels. You know the people who dedicate the life, really, and it is the life because it's the job, or it's a massive part of the life, and they don't put anything out there that may be wrong, and it's all factual, and it's always all the news brought into one nice sort of length video for us all to digest. Perfect, like that's great content as well. But then you've got someone like me who just sort of, whether it's from team talk, whether it's from my mate down pub, I'll speak about it, but I'll let you know where it's from, and we'll sort of go for it. But not every channel will speak about certain stuff that maybe has less credibility. But there's that much content out there, that much things to speak about, to do content on. Sorry, it's been worthwhile still doing the videos, because you know me, I prefer going to games and just raw reactions to the match as such, and reviews and previews and stuff. This has been a bit of a learning curve for me, but I've really enjoyed just sort of reading through the articles and bringing new content. It's been class. I've really enjoyed it so far. All will be revealed in the fullness of time, guys. Very true. Just reading this now from my mate Mike. Confidence levels are good for Muharimovic, and sounds like it's the same with Charles too. Doesn't mean either are done, but the feeling's positive. And then underneath that is put, Juve want a deal for Muharimovic ASAP, as they want funds to buy Lukumi from Bologna. Yes. So as we know, with Muharimovic, I'm just going to call him that. Muharimovic. I'm going to call him Mu, right? So we know if he moves on for whatever fee, Juve get 50%. They even thought about re-signing him. It was originally their player, but the value they'll get from the sell-on is worthwhile. Obviously, letting Sassuolo sell him on to a Leeds United or whoever he may go, which will give them funds to obviously fund the bid to get Lukumi. We know they're interested in Lukumi. My mate Mike's messaged me there and sort of said something similar. So yeah, interesting, pal. Thanks for that. Little bit of information. I think we'd all be happy with him. I didn't think it were likely we'd get a decent upgrade on Pascal without spending big. We've had to spend big, but it's a guaranteed level up on Pascal for me. And I didn't think I'd say that as confident as I am, but it is very much a level up on Pascal. Looks like they did, random guy, they did everyone who hasn't been on international duty. And yeah, we do need to get rid of a lot of players, and I think that'll happen. There's no massive rush or panic to do that. That will naturally happen. I honestly think if we sign James Trafford permanently, he could be our goalkeeper. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say this, Chris, the next decade. I think the next decade's a bit mad to suggest. Obviously, he could keep going that long. But when do you see that sort of loyalty in football? I think if we sign Trafford, just like Shea Charles, we sign him, and if he's here for 3, 4, 5 year, brilliant. They're young enough, sell on value. I think if they're that good, which I genuinely think James Trafford's England's next number one, I think naturally that'll come with a price tag of 70, 80, 90, 100 million in 3, 4 years' time. I think if anybody can sign him on a permanent, if they do, by the way, there'll be a massive sell-on fee percentage for Man City. They're not daft. It wouldn't surprise me if there were 20, 25, 30% in there for Man City to allow him to move on now, if he did move on for a fee. But I think if you can get him, and you've got the funds, because you can't put it all in that position because there's still so many gaps to sort of fill. But if you get James Trafford, even at 40 million now, for me, that doubles. Same applies as Charles in my eyes. That doubles at least in the next 2 years. And I think he's going to be a world-class goalkeeper. Rysel, new member. Thanks so much, buddy. Yeah, 2 new members on one stream. Unbelievable. Thanks, Rysel, mate. Really appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Neither did you, Scotty boy, but thank you. Yeah, John, it makes sense. It makes sense. I think it's Longstaff, but it makes sense. Any news on Willie or Joel? The only news I can give on them, Paul, is very smiley, very happy, very playful in the training videos today. Look, very happy to be back. But yeah, I think it's a matter of time. They've got to come. They've got to get the fitness in. While the club or themselves try and push for a move, I think that'll happen. I think naturally they've got to move on for their own career. It makes sense. The values aren't what they should be in my eyes. If you sell Joel Pirro last season when he's on a high from the Championship, knowing full well the likelihood is he doesn't play well in the Prem, if he even play at all. Maybe you gamble with that because you're not too sure. Easy to say now, but it came quite evident quite early. Joe Pirro, maybe he'd have gone for 15, 18 mil, maybe, I don't know. We signed him for what, 15 mil? Couple of good years with us, at least get your money back. Now, what are you talking? I'm not too sure you're talking nowhere near that. Willing Onto, I thought when we signed him, if he said he was still at Leeds in 4 or 5 years' time with a few years Premier League experience, I'd be expecting him to be over 20 million, but you're not going to get that either. But they'll move on for me. They need to. Yes, Luke, you've got to be. You've got to be. See, we talk about proactive and reactive all the time, usually negatively about Daniel Farke's subs. But yeah, proactive, it's got to be. Let me get rid of that. Does Farke have more player pull this season? You'd have to say so. Lee. I don't see why he wouldn't have. He's proven. Some have said he hasn't proven anything, and I've even others he hasn't proven anything, Matty. Well, he has. He's proved he can adapt. He's proved he can change something that's not working. Yeah, but we're going to get relegated if he didn't. Sorry, we're going to get sacked if he didn't do it. Yeah, well, I know that. He knows that. Everyone knows that. But he's still changed, isn't he? He's still adapted. He brought bits back towards the end of the season, but he adapted. He changed, and he showed a little bit of progression for me as a manager. So hopefully, you've seen. I don't even think it's just the manager, though. I think the club itself sells itself. It's not always about the manager. Players aren't stupidly. We know football managers aren't there forever. The fans are. The players who are contracted are probably going to be there longer as well, most of the time. So you look at it and think, Harry Wilson, first fruit door. The players we're currently linked with, the stadium, upgrade, it all points to this is a club going in the right direction. If I'm going to nail my colours to mast for the next 4 or 5 years in my career to a club, this looks like a club that I can buy into. This looks like a club that rewards hard work, loyalty, working class city. You can get behind it all, can't you, when you look at everything? The manager, ideally, has the pull as well. I'm not sure he's got the pull of maybe more than half of the Premier League in terms of managers in there. He hasn't. He's still probably in that bottom 6 category of careers and what he's sort of seen as. But for me, his stock's the highest it's been, Farke. I think his stock's the highest it's ever been in England. I think that goes without saying. Championship level, top manager, Premier League level, best season he's had. So, Matt, is your dog okay? I had a panic. Yeah, cheers, Sean. Yeah, anyone who didn't know me, dog got, I say run over. She got clipped by a car early. She got out this morning. Didn't see her sneak out. And yeah, clipped by a car, been to the vet. Bit of nightmare morning, by the way. Nightmare. But yeah, she's fine. She's laying on the sofa. Out of sorts, but no broken bones. Just a bit of bruising. But she's all right. But oh my God. Horrendous when you get the call saying your dog's been clipped by a car. Shit myself. All I kept thinking, I want to tell kids when they come home, from school. But thank God she's all right. But this is life, innit? It's real life. Shit happens all the time with everybody. But yeah, thank God we're on the right side of that one. Just got to be more wary now with doors and stuff. Don't say that, mate. But yeah, maybe. I'm seriously concerned about Farke wanting to go back to. Yeah, I know, Rysel, I know. I'm going to a back 4. We currently do not have the defenders or central midfielders to go to a back 4. Be all ball now are not good enough in the back 4. Lack of pace. I agree. I think to go to back 4 in certain games is viable, Rysel. A Hull City at home, a Coventry at home, and I don't just want to pinpoint the weakest side and say go for it. But there were times last season, I'm sure against Birmingham away in FA Cup, I'm sure against Norwich, we played with three centre-halves. I think there's certain games we don't have to. I do think we should back ourselves. My favourite formation as a match-going fan is the 4-2-3 one. I just love how attacking it is. But you've got to have the players for that system, and you're right to point out we probably don't, mate. And our squad strengths focus really should be to mirror what worked last season, which is a back 3. Get the right centre half in, which is probably Muhamovic. Bring him in, sit him next to Biol and Rodon, and that's a solid base out for the rest of them to go play. And I think as full backs, wing backs are better at that than they are just as a left back and a right back. I think as wing backs they work much better. Bogle probably all right either. I think Goodmanson won't look half as good if he's a little bit deeper. But I do agree. He's definitely been out there. We've seen the reports. I know he spoke to Wilson about Wilson brought it up then in his athletic interview. It's a concern, but they've got all summer to work on whatever tactics that they want to see. And all I want to say, Rysel, is it took them till Christmas almost to get the right formula to fit this squad that they built in summer. At least now, if it is a notion, if it is a conversation he's having within himself or within his players and his backroom staff that falls the way I want to go, then let's see it in pre-season. It's a tough pre-season, 7 games in 20 days, 18 days. Some really good opposition. There's no gimmies in there. It's a really good. It's a really good level of opposition. No gaps really in games. 3 days max. I like it. If it's going to work, show us it works. Get the fans on side, because the fans aren't going to like seeing 4-line. I get that, because it doesn't fit what we've got. But we've still got 5-6 players to bring in yet that may suit 4 at the back. I'm worried a little bit about it. But as long as he knows what he's doing come game week 1 in Premier League, I'll hold judgment. You know what I mean? We need 2 keepers, left back cover, a number 10, a centre back, and possibly a striker. I agree with all that, Killer. Apart from possibly a striker, we do need a striker, mate. But rest of it, 100%. yeah, Sean. I think Charles' deal is nearly done. And if he doesn't, not your fault. Not trying to sign him. But yeah, all I want to say is, and like you say, whether you're watching this thing, I'm full of shit or whatever. It is what it is. I can't help what people think, but it's not clickbait. Do you know what I mean? It's not clickbait. Like, genuinely. Like, I don't do clickbait anyway. You might see me put, Charles has signed, or Charles is Leeds or whatever. I can only go off the information I'm told. A lot of the time you'll see in titles, you got to be a little bit cute. You put a question mark or an explanation mark or whatever. But usually it's, you've read an article that states that and you put it in the title. And then you open it up and you have a chat and you go, hey, well, I've heard this. What do you think? And like you say, it's not clickbait. I'm not really bothered about sort of doing anything that's not, I don't know, putting myself in the best light, if you get what I mean. I'm not that bothered about sort of like being liked or being popular enough to sort of lie. So for me, that, I'm not saying that's the case for everyone. There might be some people out there, especially outside the lead space. There's loads of clickbait shit online. More articles as well about players that we then have to read, you know what I mean, and then try and bring content on. But yeah, if you don't sign, it's nobody's fault. We've tried, haven't we? It's one of them. Maybe we just don't spend enough. Maybe Charles changes his mind. You just never know. Loads of things can happen, can't they? But like I say, I don't like the whole thing of, if you say something's happened or it's going to happen and you're confident with it and you put your head above parapet, which creates entertainment, content for people, not just me, anybody, creates discussions. It's all good for me. If it don't happen, it don't mean it was clickbait. It don't mean it was never true. Don't mean you just got a narrative to lie to grow or whatever. Yeah, me. I'll be on building site tomorrow, regardless whether they had 10 people watching or 327 people, which is very kind of you to watch. Thank you. Fulham and Crystal Palace are non-bids and agent talk. I agree with that 100%. You would imagine they want a couple through the door and maybe out the door before getting off to. You'd think so, wouldn't you, Kershaw? You think so? It's like a couple of weeks away. Ideally, you'd have pretty much all of your players in by the time you start ramping up. Because, I mean, when pre-season starts, Kershaw, it's like that and it's done. Like I say, 7 games in just under 3 weeks, it'll go like that. We'll still bring players in that period of time, granted. I don't want to have the same sort of issue as last season, which didn't prove to be a massive issue. But someone like Noah Okafor playing against us in pre-season, it'd been more advantageous for us if he'd been playing for us in Dublin as opposed to against us. Longstaff will go need 6 or 7 additions for the future. I can't disagree with that. I think we'll get another 5, maybe 5 or 6 in, mate, but I can't agree with that. I appreciate that Longstaff might knock on the door and not be happy. Maybe Tinaka will go F2, but should Leeds waste important budget just to appease them? I understand them harmony, but still. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, you've used the word waste. It might not be a waste. We won't know, will we? I get what you mean. Could we not buy him and just rumble on with other 5, whether one wants to go or not, and it'd be sufficient? Of course we could. But an injury or 2, who knows? You never know what's going to happen with injuries. Or form, lack of form, formation changes. We don't know. It could end up being a really important deal and a massive value for money. You don't know, do you? 30 million is a lot for Leeds United. It's huge. It'll be right up there, one of our top transfer deals in terms of financials, but it could also be an absolute stroke of genius. A great deal that almost slipped through the fingers. It went on so long, people doubted it. We got it done. It turned out to be the signing that helped us get to the point we got to. So I get what you mean, mate, but yeah, if it doesn't work, it will be a waste. But I also remember people talking last season, why we spent 10 million quid on James Justin, that's a waste of money. Turned out not to be. But I understand if people were saying that about 10 million quid, even Bornau, that's 15 million quid sat on bench doing nothing. Bornau, what a vital part of that squad on a couple of occasions. And that couple of occasions, and again, it's not much, but for 5 million quid, he came in some high pressure moments and we, potentially helped that back line get through some important games. And we know full well that when the margins are so fine in the Premier League, that someone like that, and obviously James Justin, he ended up having probably a bigger say than what any of us would have forecasted before the season. But how many people were saying that's 15 million quid sat on bench? What a waste of money. So I think it's all about perspective, and I sort of look at the Charles deal, and I don't think it's a waste because I genuinely think he's worth it. And I know you think he's worth about 25, don't you, Scott? You've got to that point where you think it's just gone one too much, and I get that. I get it. 25 million add-ons is not to be stuffed at. It's not, pal. It's not. They should just bloody take it, shouldn't they? I know you may have been asked. I haven't been asked this, Jambo, to be honest. But what sort of reception will Darlow get when he returns with Scum? Well, you say returns with Scum. He'll be on the bench. He'll sit in the dugout. He'll get some jeers as he comes round. Luckily for him, he probably won't see the pitch at Ellen Road, so he won't get many. But he's going to see us at Dublin. He's probably going to start against us at Dublin, potentially. Which will be, and it's only friendly. And I know, you know, it won't be as an intense environment. But yeah, we'll see what comes in Dublin. We'll see. How many times did you hear that we had signed Suzuki? I probably said it a few times. No, I definitely didn't with Suzuki. But yeah, Newcastle, potentially his place. I don't think as many people leave as people expect. Maybe not, Kirsch. I expect to leave, right? This is who I think leaves. Bornau, Longstaff, Nonto, Pirot. I think 4 leave. Geldart, Vober, Harrison, 7 leave. I think 7 leave. I don't know. People are going to go. He's not going to leave. His Vober. He'll leave. He'll leave towards the end of the window for me. Liverpool going to offer 100 mil. Really? Wow. Jamie Lowe, Dan James isn't the guy in the Prem. His speed doesn't cause as much of an issue in the Prem as he's again. I get that, mate. I get that. Just in my opinion, I like him for the last 20 minutes. I get that. I've had people in my group chat. Not how many minutes saying he's not that. I get it. I get that, mate. I do. I don't think he's going to be an easy sell. I heard Norwich were potentially looking at Dan James. I don't want him to go to Norwich. Just I like the guy. Again, Sentiment FC. I know he's too good for Norwich. I know people say Ian is too Championship's his level, but for me, 20 minutes at Leeds United, whether we can give him that role with the money he's on and stuff, I'm not too sure. But he's a player Farke trusts for starters, and I'm absolutely sick and tired of Farke having a bench that he don't rely on. I'm sick of him looking there and not fancying players. He fancies Dan James. Not in that way, but he likes him, he fancies him, he trusts him. For 20 minutes, he'll do a job. And I get he isn't the Dan James of old, but I'm not asking him to play 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So I think for 20, he can empty his tank for 20. He's got a week off. So I see it. How you doing, Mark? How you doing, buddy? And he got 3 years left or something. Signed one recently, didn't he? So 3 or 4 years, yeah. James and Ampadu, Joe Rodon, Harry Wilson, 3 Musketeers. That's 4. Wow. So, yeah, they'll be wanting a bit of money back then, won't they, pal? So I'm going to have to skim over some, but yeah, thanks so much for all your comments. How you doing, Richard? Southampton need a sale, and we are the only bidders. That's it. Shea Charles is our man. Yeah, I mean, like you say, you don't know if you're going to get gazumped, do you? You don't know if someone else is going to whack money down and sort of change the direction of which something's going, but there's no way at all. There's absolutely no way at all as that deal not progressed. I wish Farke would stop falling in love with shy players. LUFC, truth. Talking the truth. Gruev, Pinot, James, Aronson, Byram. Hey, Byram were good for Leeds in that little spell he had. He were all right. So were Dan James. But yeah, it's they're the players that in the Premier League level irk a lot of fans out there. I know you see him in the lineup and you say, oh. But, you know, side before self. But yeah, I get it, mate. My biggest worry at the moment is our keeper situation. Sorry to move on from Shea. No, mate. Salad. Yeah, Meggie, it's an important one to get right. Like I say, there's been rumours today, Jason Steele. Again, honestly, the loosest the rumours going. But I could see someone of that level who's a direct replacement for Darlow, in terms of age, homegrown quota, experience, could come in as number 2. Wouldn't expect to start, which is hard to do, really. You know, you look at Kyle Darlow. 2 years ago, what right would Kyle Darlow have starting for Leeds United Premier League? Fast forward 18 months and look at him now, you know, turning Leeds down for scum to sit on the bench because he isn't guaranteed a starting spot at Leeds, so he may as well sit on their bench. Craziness, really, that Kyle Darlow got to that level, but on merit, he were fantastic. But I think someone like a Steele coming in or another experienced 30-odd-year-old as number 2 would come in, no frills, go under the radar, just it just needed doing, tick a box, and then you go spend on another keeper. But yeah, there's going to be two to do, Meggie, in my opinion. I do think Perry moves on. Torino were apparently coming to Leeds to speak to him today. I haven't heard anything on that. Well, hopefully we'll hear some in the coming days. But yeah, I don't think Farker massively fancies Perry. I don't think he would a Farker sign. I think he wanted another target. Savic, I think Milinkovic Savic, but he went with Perry at the end. Didn't work out. Could it work out? Maybe. He hasn't had long enough potentially in the country to adapt and all. I get that, but I think we signed two keepers and Perry moves on. But it certainly is an important decision, mate, what the club do. And I just want the whole goalkeeper saga to stop. Bring someone in who can do us a job for the next so many years, so we can just have a little bit of continuity at the back. Sorry I'm late. Been buying the new pick training kit. We'll watch the stream in the morning. Cheers, Miles. Appreciate that, buddy. Well done, mate. Well done. Is IMBL close? No, mate. No. I don't think it ever will be, Paul. What I'd say is, obviously, you'll see now what a lot of you seem to care, and, I get so many good comments, and I feel like we've got, I'm an oversharer, like I say, so you know a lot about me. Some people just have, like, I don't know, a different, not character. Some people don't give you everything, they tell you everything. I can't help it, me. So you sort of know everything about me. I tell people online where I live, which is pretty scary. I shouldn't maybe do that. But the channel would probably have to do I don't earn loads on my normal job. I just got a normal job, But it'd have to be probably 4 times bigger than what it is now. Do you know what I mean? To match sort of my wage, maybe 5 times more. And I don't think I'd have the bottle. But no, what I'd say is it's a nice little addition. It's really helped. It helped me take my wife away on holiday for our first little break in 7 years, which were really nice. It's a nice little bonus. The kids will benefit. But yeah, if YouTube stopped paying people on Mother Bobby, I'd still do a video every day or whenever I can do a video. It's not about that for me. But I can't tell you how well channel's doing in terms of views. It's been incredible lately. So thanks so much for that. But yeah, it's never going to be a full-time job, mate. It's only a handful who are lucky enough to be able to do that. I made some bad decisions in earlier life, probably that have probably meant I'll never be able to do that. But yeah, just have to keep plugging away. My overheads are too high, basically what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a nice little addition, and I just enjoy it, mate. And I think when it becomes your job, it brings a level of stress to it where you have to do it. I'm not saying I can see that in people's content, but I'm sure I probably have at some point, and there will be times where content's not needed, but it has to be done. And I don't ever want to get to that. Even though I do that many videos, you probably think I didn't need to do one, but I just like doing it. And I never want that to change, you know what I mean, mate? Watched our video earlier, Matty. Glad your dog is well. Thanks, Squawks, mate. Really appreciate that, man. Is that dog in your picture as well? Is it? Yeah, Matt. I hope so, Matt. Is it a cat? Sorry if it's a cat. Looks cute anyway. Does that dog like cat? Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, she's good. If we can move James, Pirot, Gruev out, that's another 35 million to play with. Plus, you've still got Ramazanic, Volbert, Schmidt, Joffe, and Joseph as well, and Schmidt. Yeah, Richard, I forgot to mention them. Could be about 9 then, couldn't there? But a good, like you say, a good there. What, 5? 5 of them were out on loan last season. But yeah, potentially. What I don't want to do is get to a point where we're loaning players out, though. Sick of that. I don't want to get to a point where we go, well, we paid 15 million for Perry, it didn't work. I don't really fancy him this year, so I'll tell you what, you can have him on loan again and we'll suss it out next year. Just if they're not going to feature, just sell them. Let's just start selling players as opposed to just loaning them out. I understand loaning them out still helps and get the wage off book, but ideally, the dead would. We've loaned out Vober and Joffe and Joe. We've known full well they ain't gone out on loan to come back and play for us. It's just a case of no one wants them right now. Please work. Please go out there and have a good season so we've got interest next season. That's how it sort of works. I'd rather just sell them now if we can. Evening, Matty. What are the chances Juve buying back then selling to us? There's been no talk of that, Rob. There's been no talk of that, but it wouldn't be a bad ploy. Loving your vlog, Matty. Thanks, Peter. Cheers, my mate. Thank you very much. It's things like this that keeps you going in life, Matty. Yeah, cheers, Chalky. 100%. 100%. I love doing this, mate. I bet Nonto and Joel are happy being on Prem wage and not playing. I mean, that's quite a damning statement, Mark, isn't it? Like, it's mad to say that, but you might be right. You might be right. I kind of think Meslier is. I kind of think Meslier is happy. He's gone to Arsenal, sit on bench, as opposed to maybe going and playing another league as a starter. Quite happy to sort of hide away, a little bit nervous of messing up like he has done in the past and take a wage. Some people do that. More goalkeepers, I think a lot of goalkeepers are happy. Scott Carson being one of them. Quite happy when they get to that latter end of the career, taking a wage and not being too hard for playing. I aren't sure Nonto and Joel will fit in that category. And I don't know if you're with laughing face, you might be, but there will be footballers that do that, mate. Who was that player that played for Rodwell? Jack Rodwell. He was like that out at Sunderland, wasn't he? Shocking guy. Loving your vlog. Thanks so much, mate. Anyone know if Fat got a new contract extension because he starts those back four antics? To be fair, there's been talks, haven't there? A lot of people talking about, is that the reason we've not heard of? The fact that he's suggested that he's going to go back to a back four. Has the club been like, absolutely no chance? Are we giving you a contract? An interesting one. But yeah, if they get the right players in and they've got enough time to adjust to make sure that fits the players going into the new season, I don't mind it, Andy. But on the face of it, it looks quite worrying, doesn't it? Trafford on loan first, that'd be ideal. That bringing someone in on loan and kicking the price, kicking the can for another 12 months, I'm all for that. But loaning someone out now and past all that. Rushworth, who was at Cov, could be a good option instead of Trafford. I mean, has Rushworth gone back to Cov, Mark? I might be wrong with that, but I thought he had. That shirt reminds me of Mark Beanie. Well, I think I were mistaken, Killer, because when I bought it, I called myself Fat John Lukic when I wear it. And I'm sure I saw a picture of John Lukic, but I think I have been told a few times Mark Beanie is more famously known for wearing it than John Lukic. I call it Fat Lukic Whites. Loving the retro goalkeeper, Matty. At this rate, you'll be starting between this. Just tie me arm and leg across crossbar at post, mate. They ain't no getting past me. Absolute tank. Love that. That's it, Noah. I thought that you said the Shea deal was done. Again, mate, this is what the stream's all about, mate. I've said it's done on the information I've been told. Again, I could just shut up, not do any streams about saying what's on my mind, saying what I've been told, and just wait for the announcement, which with Wilson took 3 weeks. With Shea Charles, it's taken 3 years. But again, it's done. Watch a video. If you don't like it, when you watch it, you think it's clickbait. I'm not saying you do, but anyone does. Oh, God, what have I wasted 3 seconds in my life? Come off it and just go watch someone else. Don't let it ruin your day. My word is it's not clickbait. I've been told by someone who's very credible. All I'll say is the person who's told me that Shea Charles is done, whether that means he's done now and the ink's dry or it means he's given his word and he's on his way, or he's having a medical. My mate who tells me he's quite giddy. And a bit like me, it's done. It might not be done, but it might be driving to go get done. Do you know what I mean? My mate, I've said this a few times. I was sat at Ellen Road when Leeds played Middlesbrough in the League Cup 3 years ago, watching Jorginho Rutter. 15 minutes into the game, 10, 15 minutes into the game, I get a message. Rutter's joining Brighton in the morning. He's never spoke to me about Leeds United before. Never. I know his involvement at the club and stuff. I've known him for 15 years, but never speak about Leeds all the time about, games, he goes to games and stuff, but never spoke about, this was before I did YouTube. I thought, bollocks, I'm watching him play. Who plays a match and then leaves the following day? That just doesn't happen. Well, that's a lie. Couldn't believe it next morning. I'm like, wow. He told me Leeds had put in a close to £40 million bid for Strand Larsen 2 days before it went in. But again, there I said, it's done. It's a done deal. And it wasn't. But again, I was led to believe it was a done deal because Leeds had put 38 million quid down on a player, 35 to 38 million quid down on a player, which we all expected would have been accepted. So again, I've been told quite a few bits and more. Harry Wilson, he told me that we're done not to panic 3 weeks ago. It's done, Matty, don't panic. He's just away. I shared that on here. That's done. When Shea Charles is done, it'll be 2 for 2 this season. Can't say who it is. Don't need to say who it is. Sometimes he tells me stuff. Sometimes he don't. He's just a good mate of mine who 100% will know certain stuff, but will also not know certain stuff. But when he does, if I can deliver it in a way that doesn't get him in bother and is anonymous while still delivering you a little bit to perk your day up, to give you something to think about, to tell me I'm waffling shite, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. There you go. Right. So you are a tool. It's okay, mate. It's okay. Don't worry about it, mate. Oh, but yeah, that's what I am on it, mate. Don't get too stressed about it, mate. Don't get too stressed about someone saying something might happen or something has happened that you don't know hasn't happened. Like, if it comes out that Fulham have signed him in 2 days' time, you can come and go, you're talking shit. But right now, mate, you don't know. I have not said Shea Charles has signed for Leeds. It's announced now. It will be announced now. I've just said it's a done deal. It's done. It's done. How many times have you seen Fabrizio Romano say, here we go, it's a done deal or whatever, but we don't see him out Churchill for 2 days. Like, for me, by Wednesday, it'll be done. And you'll come back, I'm sure, and sprinkle your fairy dust all over my stream. And that is fine, my mate. I'm all for it. I will still be here saying, it is what it is. I got top wrong information, and I won't use that source again. I will not mention what he says again. And there'll be sometimes it will be right. And I'm like, shit, I should have said that. But that'll be it then. That'll be closed off. There'll be no point talking about it because I won't want to look an idiot again because I look like it most days anyway. But don't worry about it, mate. It's not the be all and end all. My dog got knocked over by a car today and she's alive. There's bigger things in the world than stressing about someone going, it's a done deal and it not quite being a done deal yet. But you don't know that. So there's no point talking about it yet. Do you know what I mean? Matty, don't imagine not being Leeds. You are through and through. We love you. Leeds. Cheers, Maggie. Legend. Hi, Matt. I heard Hull City has a transfer budget of 250 mil. I heard they had bugger all, Lee, but I ain't too sure. I could be right. That's mad if they've got that. I heard they were skint. I heard they'd had to take a loan out a couple of days ago. So I'm not too sure. Pleased to see 8,000 subs doing really. Thanks, mate. Cheers, buddy. 8,000 subs is wild to me, mate. Imagine having 8,000 people like stood outside your house. I remember saying that when I had like 50 subs. I remember thinking, how am I going to grow this? How's it going to grow? And then I remember thinking, if I open my door now and there were 50 people stood in my garden all waiting for me to talk, that'd be incredible. So 8,000 is mental, innit? But yeah, thanks, Rich. I know you've been here a long time as well, pal. Thank you. Honestly, it's all right, mate. It's only been the one, I think. It was only. No, you didn't, mate, at all, though. This here, I'm cool, me, but no, it's cool. It's cool. Dean, hey up, Dino. Hi, bro. You okay? Did you have a good time with your last? Sorry. Yeah, glad you're okay, Dino. Too right. Yeah, I had a lovely time away with Mrs. last weekend. Thank you. Just all comes in threes, doesn't it? Come back. Day I come back, my windscreen got put through outside my house on my car. You know, just got my license back. Yeah, windscreen smashed. Ended up with an ear infection from swimming pool. So I'm struggling with that. Dog got hit by a car. Well, there was something else as well. So I say it comes in free. It comes in force for me. Anton Stark, Villa are in talks with Leeds. It will hit press in the next couple of days. Yeah. Okay. I don't believe that for a second. No, you're bang on. Waste was strong and not my full belief anyway. Just don't want us to have missed out to say a striker due to budget while spending on chat. Yeah, I get that. What you don't want to do is put too much money in an area that potentially doesn't need that much work and it not have enough to thinly. You don't want it to be thinly, not have enough to distribute in the other areas that need doing. You can't heavily focus on one. And it's weird because I know you're massive on Trafford, aren't you? And you'd be quite happy to see 40 on Trafford rather than get Charles. So again, it's just sort of like your preference in it, but certain positions need big money spending on it, like a goalkeeper, like a centre half. The central midfielder potentially doesn't need £30 million spending in the area. But again, I still view it as an opportunity with Charles, and I know you're just over the cusp of that, aren't you? But say that the proof will be in the pudding, pal. But yeah, no, that's bang on, man. Are you guys signing Solomon from us, please? No, mate, we're not. No, I think we looked at it at the start of last season, but no. Mate, how long does it take before I upload a video asking for Fart to be sacked? He scares me. Kept us up, but I'll back him till I don't. I have no faith in him. Well, if you did it now, Rachel, I think you'd be hammered. I don't think you get many good comments. Again, you know me. I wanted him out twice early last season before Christmas. But Burnley away were poor. Forest away, I'd had enough at that point. Again, you can only speak your truth, can't you? You can only say how you feel. And right now, I think it'd be mental to even anybody wanting him sacked right now. Honestly, I think it's madness. But I also can understand somebody looking at the situation going, I just don't think he'll be here come the end of the season, because I can't guarantee that. As someone who's backing him right now, in this minute, I'm backing him. Let's all galvanise together and let's push through and have a really good season. I think we can do it. The bar were raised last season. We can get in and around that again, if not push beyond it. The sides that have come up are poorer than what were up last season. It's an easier division for me next season, in my opinion. 9 teams in Europe. We'll get points off some of those sides we might not have done otherwise. We'll be fine. But I do understand if we have a poor start, they may pull the plug. They may do. I personally think we've got enough to get through next season and have a really good year. And then there's a conversation beyond that. His contract situation's funny. Because there's still no news on it. It's a mad situation, I think, going into a season with a manager on 1 year. I understand Bielsa does it. I understand others do it, Iriola. top managers do it. They back themselves. I think Farke would like a contract. I don't think Farke wants to go into his last year. I really don't. I think he wants a bit of security, and he probably deserves it. But I get it, Rice. I get it, and there'll be a lot of people ready to jump on it fairly early. But let's just see what kind of squad we build, and let's see how season starts. But yeah, right now I think it'd be a mistake, pal. I did, Graham. Thank you. I did and I did, mate. I had a calzone, and the missus had like this tortellini pasta. I think it was lovely, and a garlic bread. So yeah, and a beer each, and it was €45. So it were two drinks each, a nice meal, and yeah. So we were all inclusive. We ate in a couple of days, and we ate out on your on the money you give me for your super chat. So yeah, thanks for that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I think they play him. I think he'd play there. I do. Is a Paraguay keeper available? Orlando Gil, apparently so. Apparently, is it Torino wanting him? They've been priced out of it, haven't they? They've been priced out of it by them wanting double or treble what they originally thought they were going to be able to get him for. So yeah, normal job. He walks around the Ivers jacket now, not pretending to. Hey, shut up, you, Dave Smith. Shut up, you. That you were telling people my secrets. Nothing is done till you see the lad in question. Yeah, but thing is with that though, it is though, isn't it? It is done. It is done. Like until when we see the footage of it being done, it's already done. When we see, we don't see a live footage of him signing, do we? So when we see him, it's already been done. It might be 10 minutes, it might be 2 hours, it might be 2 days. Like that's a fact. It's done before we see it's done. But to you and others, it's not done because you're not physically seeing it from the club. I get that, but it is done before we see it's done. That's a fact. That is a fact. There'll be a cameraman who's filming it being done before we get to see it being done. Like I know it sounds daft, but that it is true. It is true. I don't have chat shit, me daughter, but you get the premise. Like that is fact. That is fact. Love watching your content, Matty. Give this legend a like, folks. Cheers, Dwayne, man. Thank you. Thanks so much, buddy. Moshin's in the house all the way from Canada. How you doing, brother? When a player is under contract that we gave them, it's not as simple as move them on because we don't need them anymore. Club also has to consider the impact on other players when they see. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. But I think the players that will move on, Moshin, I think it's fairly obvious to everybody that they aren't going to play next season. So as much as it's not a case of us as fans going, want this player out this, I get that. But when you look at the players listed that we all sort of envisage won't play for Leeds United next season or have any long-term future at the club, I think it's obvious due to playing time. And if a player doesn't want to move out and sort of just be a squad player who's not going to get any minutes, you have to question their drive to be successful. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. They're under contract. It's not as easy as just saying you've got to go. But I do think if you go to Joffrey and go, right, you're up for sale, you know, you're on the list, we're going to tout you about to clubs. It's fairly obvious is the list of people aren't going to play football. If they're happy to stay at Leeds on that bench, then it is what it is. Yeah, you are right. We can't force anybody out on the contract, Moshin. You're right. But there is ways of doing things, letting people know, subtly letting people know quite harshly and strongly, you know, you're not in my... Farke can have an honest conversation. You're not in my thoughts next season. You know, you'd be best moving away from club. Thanks for all you've done. That will be a conversation too for a lot of players. No, mate, not seeing no else on there, pal. It's a pity, Matt. I would have liked Perry to have a workout, but it didn't, so we have to. But yeah, I mean, Sean, the rumours to Torino seem pretty legit. Hasn't gone yet. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think he goes, but there's still a conversation that Perry don't go and he sticks around. We'll see how it goes. Aronson should not be starting before Nonto. Yeah, Sam, again, though, I've had this conversation plenty of times and it's pointless saying it because Aronson's been Farke's pick. And Aronson's done a better job than I thought. And I ain't going to hammer Aronson. Is his time as a starter up? I would suggest yes. Is his time as a Leeds United player up? I don't think it is. Have had very similar, very credible conversations, looking sorted, honestly. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. The Ben Jacobs tweet today, for me, didn't have much in it, but a load of holes. I watched your video. Sounder tweet. How did 7 aside go? Was it good? Good. But yeah, again, mate, if it's not done, we've got to lick his wounds and go again. And I don't mean to hammer you for this, mate. It's just tongue-in-cheek, but not even tongue-in-cheek. It's just, I remember you with the Simicast thing. You've gone through it before, haven't you? You know, sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. You get told something, you run with it, or you choose to not mention it, and then you kick yourself for not mentioning it. You know, it is one of them. Be first or be credible. And we've seen a lot of people today speak about it. Nearly everyone in the space has said they've heard something It is what it is. No one died, man. I think we dodged one with JSL. I tell you what, when he comes on for Haaland at the World Cup, you think we've dodged one? Yeah, me too. I do like the player, but so far he hasn't done enough, has he? Loving the content. Cheers, Miles, mate. Thanks so much, pal. Yeah, I forgot about them too, pal. Keep sharing what you'll find out, pal. If I did content, I wouldn't be falling out of everyone. I would be falling out of everyone. Kirsch, I love your Twitter, mate. Say, I'm not massive on X. Honestly, I was speaking to Jared earlier. We're having a bit of a conversation just in general about X and stuff, and he just said you just be careful because it can be quite a dark place and it can mess with your head and stuff, can't it? And I was like, yeah, to be fair, I'm starting to see that now because I've never gone on X really, but until doing the you can't do transfer rumors, can you? And be jumping on deals as they happen if you're not on X. So I'm new to X, and I haven't had no shit really, but I see shit. Oh my god, it's turgid. And Kershaw, I didn't realize, mate, you are Mr. X, lad. You are Mr. X. I shouldn't say X. I've said for the X. Are you Mr. XXX? Have you got one of them pages? But you are Mr. X. I see you all the time. To be fair, you tweet some really good stuff, but I know you got into a bit of shit the other day, which we're not going to go into, but. I sort of agree. New Leeds fan here, going to the pre-season game. Wrexham in Tampa Bay. I love the channel. Thanks, Jay. Happy to have you on board, mate. And Wrexham, which one's my mate Bill going to? I don't know. Is it the Wrexham game? I don't think it is. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic time. Is my mate Danny going to Wrexham? I think my mate Danny's going to Wrexham. Yeah, my mate Danny, who I go to away games with, Jay. So I assume you probably don't know many people who's going to be there. Keep hitting the channel up, even maybe message me on my socials, and I'll get you to meet up my mate Danny and the Garth Whites. There's a selection of them. It is Wrexham. They're going to the Wrexham game, I'm sure of it, in Tampa. I hope I'm not wrong with that. I'm pretty sure it is. And if it is, you'll have to hit them up, mate, and go for a beer with them. That'll be class. Be happy to have you on board, mate, and I'm jealous that you're getting to watch them there. Matty, don't stop. I enjoy your podcast because it's so relaxed. So everyone give Matty a break. To be fair, Sean, cheers, man, but there ain't many people giving me shit, really. It's more I say the content creation place, but I don't really deem myself that, but just people who do this, the space in general. If you say anything that you've been passed on, it's just deemed absolute tosh. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, I'm sort of looking at it thinking, other day stress thinking, I hope this deal comes off because I'm looking at it. And now I'm just like, I want it to work. I want him to sign for Shea Charles for Leeds United, not to spare my blushes, because ultimately it don't really matter, does it? I haven't done no either way. I've just said what I've said. 8,000 subs is well deserved, mate. Keep up the good work, buddy. Thank you so much, my mate. Really appreciate it, Sean. New goalkeeper in Charles, 70 million fee, leave little room for improvement elsewhere. I mean, it does, Lee, but that's where the outgoings come in. That's where the outgoings come in. I don't know how much we've got to spend initially. I thought around 100 million quid. Obviously, we saved a bit of money in the Harry Wilson deal. Yes, fees and wages, I get all that, but still didn't have to lump down, £20 million plus. The inflated costs I get with him being free, but I back the 49ers honestly in any situation. If I woke up tomorrow and we'd sold DCL and sacked Farker, I'd be straight on computer talking about it. But I'd just be like, right, what are they doing here? What are they thinking? They've got a plan. Let's go with it, because I'm just all in on them, and I know not everybody is, and I get that. Owners, they're there to make a quick buck and move on potentially. I get it, but these, we've seen rubble ripped out. We're seeing buildings knocked down. We're seeing plans for redevelopments. We're seeing, Box Park, similar to Box Park from Wembley, Fan Park, whatever it's called. We're seeing all sorts. The excitement around Leeds United is massive now, and without the 49ers, I don't think that happens. So I just back them regardless, mate, of any worries I have. Do you know what I mean? Cheers, mate, for all the updates, especially with you being a real... Cheers, Paul. I think everyone that does it are real Leeds fans, obviously. You know what I mean? We all love Leeds. Some people are just fortunate enough to be just down the road from it. You know what I mean? My mate Joe Blackburn, who were in the chat. Blackpool, I think it is Joe Blackburn, not too far away. But yeah, I mean, I grew up stone throw from Ellen Road. I grew up in Old Farnley. Literally walked that ring road past Matalan where I used to work when I was 16. Come on, Matalan. Remember Matalan? Have you got your Matalan card? No. Why do I need one? Because you just do. Because I need to swipe it so then you can buy your stuff. What does Matalan card do? Get me a discount? No, mate. Well, why do I need one? I don't know, mate. Anyway, going off on one. But yeah, I used to walk. I used to play football at Skylark, five-a-side next to the stadium. And now, obviously, I've moved a little, just outside Castleford. But I'm still only 20, 25 minutes away. But it's one of them where I'm in Leeds. I'm from Leeds. Not everyone's lucky enough to be from Leeds. Keep up the great work, Matt. Thanks so much, buddy. Matty, don't let some people. Yeah, honestly, Sean, I'm cool with it, mate. I'm cool with it. Like I say, they'll come. Come here, Pipes. They'll come for me if the Shea Charles deal doesn't work. Yeah. Dog don't want to come say hi. I'm saying Stack is coming to Villa, but looking at him as Onana replacement, I just say it's one to watch Onana ACL and here he going. I know everyone I love Stack since last season. I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. With midfield, the whole of midfield you've now got, it'd be fantastic. He scored an absolute worldie against you as well, which probably helped him fall in love with the player. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that happens. But I tell you what, when a player has a season like he had, there's going to be people looking at him in there. So maybe I were a little bit too quick to jump on that. Farker stays 3-year contract. There you go. Let's see, my mate. Let's see. Get through the last few comments and we'll call it a night, guys. That's been a mad stream for how many views you have had tonight. Thank you so much. Over 300 people watching. Smashes a like on the video. Really appreciate that. That's a problem. Players up 4 or 5 years. If Wilson flops, it's going to be a long season. You think it all hinges on Wilson, dear? I'm not too sure. Lukuma going to Juventus. Yes, I've heard. Mark my words. Smash a like for Matty. He never stops working for us. Give some appreciation. Thanks, mark my words. Appreciate that. Mark his bloody words. Mark them. You look like a poor man's Nigel Martin. I'll take that, mate. I'll take that. Nigel Martin. Best keeper. Has there been a better keeper since Nigel Martin? I don't think there has. Steve says, brilliant content as usual, Matty. You're normally spot on when you say something's done. Cheers, Steve. Well, yeah, I have been, to be fair, up to press, but this one, I'm still very, very confident that it's done. Again, until it's done, I'll be told I'm talking shite. But I tell you what, it'd be a very satisfying feeling in the next couple of days if it gets announced, when it gets announced. I don't really know what words to use, because people will say, you said if. Well, yeah, but I'm sure it's done. But yeah, I just want to stop talking about Shea Charles. I want to stop talking about the goalkeeping situation. I don't mind talking about Muhamovic a little bit more. That's come out of sort of left field, but that's an exciting prospect. But yeah, let's hope we get some of these deals done now. Evening, Rainbow Man. Evening, Richard. I'm just about to go now, mate. Might like to waffle on in a good way always. Castleford Tigers #1 fan. No way, mate. No way. Yes, it's your fault, mate. It's your fault. Why can't we just get a good goalkeeper on loan for now and spend on that? That'd be the ideal, wouldn't it? Get James Trafford on loan if possible. No more on the Bosnian fella, pal. Not unless something's gone while I'm live, pal. It's going to be a tough deal. It's going to be a tough deal. The financials behind it, close to 40 million euros. The fact that you've got Sunderland and Bournemouth, who European football, but apparently, I mean, I've seen a tweet earlier. Again, don't know how credible it is, saying that Leeds are ahead of the other two. I think that's fairly obvious from what we've seen for the last couple of days. But the fact Fabrizio's talking about it and stuff, it's got some legs on it. But yeah, no new on that, mate. Just joined, says John. Time to give Southampton an ultimatum and then walk away. I thought they were going to do that a week or so ago. It's still not happened. The negotiations are positive. How can they be positive when it's just going on as long as this? But yeah, I think it gets done, my mate, from what I'm told. Paul, great content. Might have a part on me. Thanks so much for your super chat, Paul. Really appreciate that, my friend. I hope everything is good in your world. Didn't have to do that. But I fully appreciate that. Thanks so much, pal. Get a new pair of gloves, Foster's in there. Appreciate it all, Matty. Nice one, fella. See you tomorrow with a bowl of salad. Yeah. Leave it till the end of the week, mate. Let's give it till the end of the week. But no, I appreciate that, Paul. And yeah, you watch all my content and comments. So thank you so much. Cheers, Top Banana. Always pushing me forward, mate. Thank you. Lee's playing at the impressive Soldier Field Stadium in Chicago, which has a capacity of 62,000, making it the smallest football stadium in the USA. It's going to be class, is that the winner? I agree, Matty. You would think professional footballers want to play football and not want to sit on the bench. You would think so, mate, but you never know. Prepared for Dublin? Kind of. I've got a passport, but yeah, I can't wait for it. Tielemans going to Man United. Decent signing, to be fair, to like him. Plays a song, mate. I could put you a song on if you want. Tune on the way out. Got any panel shows lined up with Journey? I haven't, Mark. Thing is, for me, I really like just doing my own thing. I get I don't know why. I don't want to go too deep, but I get a little tad of anxiety when I have people on. I don't know what it is. Especially if it's just one-on-one, in case it doesn't flow and it comes across like poor content or whatever. I really like, Mark, the late night leads we do on a Friday at 10 o'clock. That will be back in a few weeks. Just try to get boys a bit more enthusiastic about stuff. They're not massively into transfers. They want football to start, but we do need to bring it back with a bang at some point with a bit of a quiz and that in there. So that's a panel show I do every week. But in terms of, I mean, Jared, if I spoke to Jared, Jared would jump on whenever I asked him, I would assume, and I'd jump on as if he asked me. But yeah, I'm friends with a lot of people in space. Really good friends with a few people. But I tend to just do my own thing, just how I sort of like it. But you never know. I had good Scotty boy from Lee's Lens on the other week, which were a nice chat. I had my mate Bill on a month or so ago from the US of A, who is going to be doing a match day vlog, by the way, for the game he's going to. I think it's the Liverpool game. It's better by yourself. But yeah, the thing is, when you're speaking to someone, I feel a little bit anxious about it. Just, I don't know why. But I can't go through chat. And I think that might be where anxiety comes from. I can't just go through chat and give you a voice. Do you know what I mean? I prefer that. It's hard on the videos. I put videos out and I can't get through every comment. I see them. I can't comment to every comment on when I do a video that gets, say, 3,000 or 4,000 views and it's got sometimes 100 comments. I can't comment to them all because I'll constantly forever have it. Kids, dad, or the missus saying, can you give it a rest now? You've done your video, you've done this. So got to try and be present as well. Whereas on a live, I really focus heavily on trying to bring as many comments up as possible. And I've always prided myself on that. So I tend to do that, my mate. Heading off, Ledge. Back tomorrow. Cheers, Mark my words. You're a good one. Miss Late Night Leeds, best show on YouTube. I'm really looking forward to doing it again, mate, when we get back to it, Top Banana, because there's a lot more new subscribers that maybe haven't seen it before. So I'd be really happy to see that. Hopefully grow that stream and that particular show. I think one of Nonto and Ramazani will stay. I think so, Lee. I think so. Don't get me wrong, there's scope that they both could go. I've always said Nonto will move on now, but it makes sense to keep one of them. They're similar, playing both sides, can play centrally. It makes sense to keep one of them, doesn't it? At least. Good to see Joe Wayman back posting a bit of content. 100%, Richard. 100%. Hopefully it'll be regular content is a word. Regular, which I'm sure it will be soon. Just glad he's well, mate, and still with us. 100%. Anyone going to the Chicago game against Liverpool, let Lee Crisp know. I think it might be Bill, potentially. And she did, Richard. She loved it. But like I say, we came back and it's just been shit ever since. Doing yourself an injustice there. Every time I've seen you on your doing a panel show, you link up well. If you don't like doing them, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know what it is, mate. I don't know what it is. Just nerves. People think I don't get nervous. I don't get nervous doing this. I get nervous when it's a panel show. I do want to do one, though. I do think the channel misses that. Like I say, Late Night Leeds on a Friday. It's a little bit different, just a panel show. I do think I have had thoughts about doing like a midweek panel show where, I get, whether it's Joe Blackburn, Joe, Paul Leeds Therapy, Scott, there's a few people that I really link up with and speak to, on the weekly basis. I could easily sort of do something like that when the season starts, but I'm just not sure. I'll see. But I change my mind like the wind changes, Mark. But I appreciate sometimes I need a bit of a nudge as well. Any chance Okafor could have a word with Mbolo and send him our way? Yeah, I like him. Any news on Brant Mate? No, Rob. I think that's not happening. I don't think that's happening, mate. I really don't. Good, bad, or indifferent. Do your thing, Matty. No content creator gets everything right. Yeah, true. Cast promotion. I appreciate that, brother. You are in your element when you are live and alone, mate, just like me. Yes, Richard. Right then, I am going to call it a day. I am 60. I have supported Leeds all my life, and I think Leeds are in a good place. So exciting to see how it goes. MOT. Yes, me too, brother. Me too. Right, I'll play out of a song. I will play you out with a song. Let's see. 263 people still watching. Do us a favour. Smash us a like. Anyone that's not seen it, this is White and Gold, the ballad of Gary Speed. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Love you all the bits. See you soon.
Gives Gary Speed a run. Away goes Speed. He's got a start on them all this time. Go on, Gary Speed. Get one yourself, son. And what a great goal.
He wore the white with pride and grace, a Yorkshire lion in his place. From Mellon Road to distant fields, a heart of steel, a soul that heals. He rose with youth, he led with might. Number 11 burning bright. The crowd would cheer, the cop would sing, for Speedo's magic on the wing. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you forever proud. true. Ooh, yeah. In 92, we touched the sky. Champions dream, we watched it fly. With Batty striking and McAllister too. But Gary, we always look to you. You gave us hope, you gave us fight. You lit our darkest days with light. A gentleman, a warrior bold. Your legacy will never grow old. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still. In every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told. A hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you. Forever proud, forever true. Fade, your name in stone will still be laid. At Ellen Road, your spirit walks in every match, in every talk. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still. In every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told. A hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you. Forever proud, forever true. Forever Leeds, forever you.